Let's start our class today. And yesterday we have started a new chapter, that is consumer protection. And today we have already discussed what is the need for consumer protection, why there is a need for consumer protection, the rights of consumer, what are the rights given to consumer, and we have discussed all the rights. And we have also discussed the responsibilities of a consumer. So what are the as a consumer, what are the responsibilities consumer has to fulfill? Now today we'll discuss methods of consumer protection, how you can how consumer can get protection, what methods can be adopted to give protection to consumer. Now the first method is self-regulation by business. Now self-regulation by business means business itself, business enterprises or companies itself form some guidelines so that they can protect the interest of consumer. They themselves lay out some guidelines, some you can say some safety tips so that they can protect the, ultimately consumer is the king. So if companies want to run for a longer period, they want to stay in a market for a longer period, ultimately they have to protect the interest of consumers. They know this thing. So that's why they itself, business enterprises itself frame some guidelines for the protection of consumers. Now what are some of the business associations are, such as Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce Industry, Confederation of Indian Industry, have framed some set of code of conducts. They have set some guidelines for dealing with the customers. Why? Because they know that prosper and grow for a longer period, they want to grow for a longer period, they can do so only by giving importance to consumers. Now the second method is consumer awareness. Now the next method is consumer should be alert and protect his own rights. He should speak again. Consumer awareness, consumer should be aware. That's why in the last yesterday when we were discussing, we have discussed one of the responsibility of a consumer is to get an education, to get a knowledge, to acquire a knowledge of the product before purchasing or before buying anything. So consumer awareness is another method for protecting consumer, by giving information to the consumer, by giving knowledge to the consumer, by giving them some tips how they can purchase the product. The consumer should be alert and protect his own right. He should speak against all form of exploitation. If any business firm has exploited the consumer, or any defective good is given by the company to the consumer, if they have been cheated, consumer is cheated, then they should speak. They should not simply get exploited. It is not easy to exploit an educated and well-aware customer. That's what nowadays we all are educated. If something happens, some defective good is given to you, or some service is not good, though they have promised at the time of purchasing, and now they are not giving the post service. What we do, we call the customer care. If any defect is there in the product, we know how to deal with that. But some people still now, the people who are in villages or even in cities, some people are there, they never bother. If the product is defective, they just throw the product, they don't take any action. So another method for consumer protection is the consumer should alert and should speak if they have been exploited. Then consumer associations, some associations have built, some organizations play an important role so that business firm cannot harm the business, harm the customer rights. So these organizations help the customer to get relief in case of any exploitation. If consumer is exploited, they can knock the door of these organizations. They help the consumer. If they feel the consumer is exploited, they take action on behalf of the customer, or they take action, they guide the customer what actions he can take. Consumer association and non-government organization play a vital role in educating the customer. So these associations, these government organizations play important role for educating the customers. Now another method is government itself. Now how government can protect customer? By government can frame some laws, some guidelines for the customer. They can frame some guidelines for the businessman so that consumer can protect it from these rights. And they have given certain rights to customer that they can speak some as we have discussed, that if consumer is exploited, they can knock the door. So that's how government protect the consumers. See, government has framed set of laws and legislation to protect the interest of the consumers. One of the important act framed in the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Some of the measures provided by the government for protecting the consumer are various publicity initiative taken by the government, like regular. Now how government, one of the steps government has taken is, if you have seen the TV, they used to give some ads like Jago Grahak Jago, basically to give, to aware, to alert customer that before purchasing, check the quality, check the ingredient, check the price, so that customer cannot be cheated. So the enterprise, so the company cannot cheat you, cannot cheat the customer. Campaigns should be there. See, journals are there, certain journals are publicated by the government like Ubhokta Jagran and all. Introduction of various awards to motivate and encourage the youth for participating. Even government give awards to youth who participate in consumer protection. Public interest litigation is there, under which any person can move the court to law in the interest of the society. Any person can move to the court. Recently, a appeal was filed against Maggi, the product, because people has found something harmful in that Maggi which we eat. Nestle Maggi is. So that's how you can speak to, you can go to the court for the people benefit. Lok Adalat, if you remember, you have studied Lok Adalat in civics. Lok Adalat is public court where without the interference of court itself, in front of court, the people used to get settlement. So they can go to Lok Adalat for their grievance. A number of laws are also there, like Drug Control Act, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, the Standard of Weight and Measure Act, Prevention of Black Marketing and Maintenance of Essential Supplies Act 1980. So these are certain acts, certain laws formed by the government for the protection of the consumer. So these are the methods through which consumer can be protected. Now the next point is Consumer Protection Act 1986. Now what is this? Consumer Protection Act 1986 says, as I told you, there is 3-tier system. If you want to complain, you have to, there are 3-tier system. Now what is 3-tier system? District Forum, State Commission and National Commission. That is, first your complaint, you can launch your complaint to District Forum. If you are not satisfied with the result, you can knock the door of State Commission, then National Commission. Now let us discuss the amount. Basically, if you want to complain, there is certain amount limit up to which you can complain to District Forum. Like if you want to complain, if you have a problem, each District Forum shall consist of a person who has been qualified as a district judge. In this, district judge used to sit as the president of District Forum. There must be 2 other persons who are not less than 35 years of age and also possess the recognized university, and they also have a degree of proper degree for sitting in this office. A district forum can receive consumer complaint where the value, now the value of goods and the compensation claim is not more than 25 lakh. So if you have complaint up to 25 lakh, you can go to district court, not above that. Up to 25 lakh value complaint, if you have a problem till 25 lakh, you can go to district forum. The need for district forum grievance redressal arise because the majority of the people who face any consumer right violation are unable to fight complaint with the state. An appeal against the order of the district forum can be filed with the state. Now if you are not satisfied with the district forum decision, you can appeal to State Commission within 30 days. Then comes State Commission. If your problem, if your complaint value is, now first we'll discuss who all sit. Again, a judge of a high court sits in State Commission office and 2 other person whose age are 35 years of age and should have a proper degree. They sit with it, sit in this office, State Commission office, and you can complain the State Commission up to goods and service value should be not exceeding 25 lakh but not exceeding 1 crore. So in this 25 lakh rupees, in this 25 lakh maximum, In this 25 to 1 crore. Okay, 25 to 1 crore you can complain, and if you're not satisfied with the decision of this, you can go to National Commission within 30 days. You can file your complaint to, you can appeal to National Commission. Now the last is National Commission. Now National Commission, who sits in National Commission? A judge of the Supreme Court. See, in this a district judge, in this High Court judge, and in National Commission a Supreme Court judge sits, and 2 other persons sit with him. As the President, provided that no appointment shall be made except after consultation with the Chief Justice of India. Now, the appointment of a judge of National Commission is done by Chief Justice of India. So, it's a big shot. The person who is sitting, who is the President of National Commission, is a big shot. The commission shall not consist of not less than 4 members. Now, in State, District Commission and State Commission, we have discussed, one is the President and another 2 members with him. But in National Commission, one is the President, who is appointed by the Chief Justice, and another 4 members are there who have proper degree, and they should be graduate from a recognized university. Now, the jurisdiction of commission shall extend to any case where the compensation amount exceeds 1 crore. Now, here the compensation, the value of goods should exceed 1 crore, more than 1 crore. An appeal against the order of National Commission can be filed with the Supreme Court. Now, if you are even not satisfied with the National Commission, you want to file an appeal against this, you can go to Supreme Court, but within 30 days. Now, this is very important point, class. Consumer Protection Act, this 3-tier grievance. Don't take this lightly. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Again, I am revising. In district form, district judge sits, with him 2 other officers sits, and 2 other officers sits, and complaint is up to 25 lakh. Here High Court judge, and complaint good compensation value should be 25 to 1 crore, and here more than 1 crore. Chief Justice, judge is appointed, Supreme Court judge is appointed by the Chief Justice and 4 other members with him. Now, definition of consumer, I will not teach you from this book. I will send the definition from another book, because this definition was edited by the government, Consumer Protection Act. This is not a correct definition, so I will teach you from another book. Now we will discuss who can file a complaint. Who all can file a complaint? For example, if you have a problem, then who can file a complaint? A consumer. A consumer itself, if you have a problem with the product or a company, you can file a complaint. Any voluntary consumer association, if any association who is working on the behalf of the consumer, on the behalf of the society, they can file a complaint. A central government can file a complaint. A state government can file a complaint. A legal heir of a deceased consumer. For example, a person is died by consuming the product or because of that product. So a legal heir, his son or his daughter, can file a complaint on behalf of the consumer. So again, I am revising who can file a complaint. A consumer can file. A association who is working on behalf of consumer or the society. A central government, a state government, and a legal heir of deceased person. Now, complaint under the Consumer Protection Act. Complaint, what complaint means? Complaint, an actual complaint is an allegation. You are putting an allegation on someone. This is complaint. So, an unfair trade practice or a restrictive trade practice has been adopted by any trader or services provider. So, complaint means any allegation in writing made by a complainant that in a complaint, if you have mentioned all these points, then that allegation is considered as a complaint. If you have written that a trade practices and unfair trade practices has taken place, as adopted by any trader, this is treated as a complaint. The good bought by him or agreed to be bought by him suffer from one or more defects. If your product is defected, then this is regarded as a complaint. If you have hired the service by him, suffer from deficiency or any respect. For example, if you hired the service of a let us talk about a waiter, and you feel that they have not given you service properly, you have not given you the the service was not good, or they have cheated you. Not exactly a waiter, you can take the example of car agencies and all. So in this case you can file a complaint. A trader service provider, the case may be as charged for the goodness. If they have charged more or less, not exactly less, obviously you will not complain for less, but for excess of the price. If they have charged more than MRP, if you feel that the good is not that worth they have charged, fixed by any under law for the time being in force, displayed on the goods or any package containing such goods, displayed on the price exhibited. So if they have excess, if they have charged you price excess of all these, agreed between the parties. If for example, if you have agreed that 200 rupees you will purchase, the both of you have agreed that yes, the seller has agreed that he will sell you that product at 200 rupees and you have accepted, okay, I'll sell, and afterward he is asking you to give you 300 rupees. At that time you can, but agreement should be in written. That time you can complain. Goods which will be hazardous to life, and they have not mentioned, if you see the goods which is hazardous for the body, like cigarettes, like alcohol, like other drugs, they write it on the paper itself, packaging itself, that it's dangerous for the health. So if they have not given you the information that yes, this product can be harmful to you, in that case also you can file a complaint. So these are certain things, certain points to which you can, which is treated as a complaint, and you can file a complaint to the company. So that's all about this chapter. And definition I'll teach you from another book, or I'll send you the PDF file. You can read down the definition. So till now class we have completed 4 chapters. Now today I finished the 4th chapter, and I hope you are making your notes, class, though I am not asking to submit your notes, but I hope you are making your notes. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Thank you.